Dethklok returns, Universal monsters come back out of the shadows, and the deadline for Clive Barker autographs grows closer. All on this Monday edition of Spill the Guts.
I like it spooky.
Hello everyone and welcome to this Monday edition of Spill the Guts. I am your host Clint and I am 1/3 of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast, where every other week we bring you news, reviews, interviews, entertainment, and now fill in the gaps every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday with your 5 to 10 minute horror news blitz. It is May 15th and this just in. Dethklok returns with a Metalocalypse feature film, a soundtrack, and Death Album 4. As reported by BloodyDisgusting.com, the long-awaited return of Adult Swim's favorite heavy metal adventure, Metalocalypse, arrives with a nationwide tour of the series' on-screen band Dethklok, who will kick off their 29-date national tour on August 30th with Japanese metal pioneers Baby Metal as co-headliners and virtuoso guitarist Jason Richardson as support. The Dethklok tour will include appearances at Blue Ridge Rock Festival in Alton, Virginia on September 10th, Louder Than Life in Louisville, Kentucky on September 23rd, and Aftershock in Sacramento, California on October 7th. Also coming later in 2023 is Metalocalypse Army of the Doomstar, an original full-length movie written and directed by Brendan Small and produced by Titmouse, Adult Swim, and Warner Brothers. The film features, to name a few, King Diamond of Merciful Fate, Kirk Hammett of Metallica, Scott Ian of Anthrax, Amy Lee of Evanescence, Malcolm McDowell, and Mark Hamill. The all-new animated movie begins after the heroic rescue of Toki Wartooth. Dethklok frontman Nathan Explosion finds himself traumatized in a brutal professional and romantic flat spin, all while he is tasked with fulfilling the prophecy and confronting the ultimate songwriting challenge to save the planet. Can Nathan Explosion look beyond his brutally damaged ego to save his band, stop the Metalocalypse, and finally face the ultimate evil Selassie? As a special highlight, fans can also anticipate the release of 2 full-length albums this year. Water Tower Music will release both the film soundtrack, Metalocalypse Army of the Doomstar, as well as Death Album 4 around the launch of the film. Meanwhile, fans can summon Dethklok by streaming the Metalocalypse Dethklok Complete Collection playlist. Radio Silence directing untitled monster thriller for Universal Pictures. In the wake of Scream and Scream 6, the filmmaking team known as Radio Silence, who worked on VHS, Southbound, and Scream, has set up their next project, and it'll keep them in the horror genre. Deadline reports that Radio Silence will next be directing an untitled monster thriller for Universal, and it sounds like the mysterious film will be playing with classic characters. Deadline notes in the report that in the vein of the studio's recent hits like The Invisible Man and Renfield, this untitled monster thriller provides a unique take on legendary monster lore and will represent a fresh, new direction for how to celebrate these classic characters. Universal monster films are rooted in the horror genre with no restrictions on budget, rating, or genre. They are not part of a shared interconnected universe which allows each film to stand on its own. This new direction is filmmaker-driven, inviting innovative filmmakers with original, bold ideas for these characters to develop the stories and pitch them. And now it's time to pause for a brief station identification and hear from our podcast network, the PFPN.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
Alright, last up for this Monday report is a follow-up reminder on a story that we covered on a previous episode of the I Like It Spooky Horror podcast. CPA Authentic Autographs currently has several horror celebrity actors queued up for signings, including Andy Matischak, Tobin Bell, and Shawnee Smith. However, the deadline to secure a Clive Barker autograph is fast approaching. You have until May 26th to get your order in that could include your own item or selections that CPA and Clive Barker have available to choose from. The cost for this autograph is $65 plus shipping with an additional $10 charge added for any personalization requested. Again, the cutoff date for a Clive Barker autograph is May 26th, so get over to CPAAuthentics.com today. And that is a wrap on this Monday edition of Spill the Guts. We hope everyone had a great Mother's Day yesterday. And if you haven't got the chance yet, be sure to listen to the latest episode of the I Like a Spooky Horror podcast, where we discuss the new franchise entry Evil Dead Rise that is now available to own digitally. Don't forget, you can find the I Like a Spooky Horror podcast on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Make sure to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and I will talk to you again on Wednesday on another edition of Spill the Guts.
Hey, what's wrong with you, man? Show some fucking respect for the dead, will ya?